Hi, I'm Anita of My Drink and I podcast, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a marvelous day. And if you're seeing this show for the very first time, be sure to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell so when an episode comes out, you'll be the first to know. And don't forget to comment too in the comments section of this video. Well, there's a lot going on, and I wanted to bring you guys a show on Friday. Unfortunately, I was unable to bring the show because I had some grading to do. It's the end of the marking period, and these kids are waiting for the report cards because their report cards are tied to some of the gifts that they will be getting. So had to make sure that it was done. Now, there's a saying better late than never. I may be a little late, but here I am. Okay, so let's start off with the verdict that Harry got on Friday with the lawsuit that he had against the Daily Fail. Now, a lot of people reported it in a way that Harry lost his case. Wrong. Harry didn't lose the case. Let me just, refresh people on what actually this case is all about. Now, the Daily Fail had written an article claiming that it was only when news broke out that Harry wanted the UK government to pay for his security, that he came out and said that he offered to pay for his security. Now, when Harry presented this case to the judge or to the court, the judge said there was some libel to that article. Now, they had the preliminary trial in June, and this preliminary trial literally was basically saying that, or Harry's lawyer argued that the defense of the Daily Fail was weak and that the judge should throw out the defense and rule in Harry's favor. Now, the judge came back and ruled that the Daily Fail can continue with their defense and Harry can pursue the case. Okay, so that's exactly what it is. Here it is. Here it says judge rules against Prince Harry in early stage. You hear it? Of libel case against the Daily Fail publisher. Now, Prince Harry lost the preliminary round Friday in his libel case against the publisher of the Daily Fail tabloid over an article that said he tried to hide his efforts to retain publicly funded protection in the UK after walking away from his role as a working member of the royal family. A judge at the High Court in London ruled that the Associated Newspapers Limited can continue to argue that the story reflected an honest opinion about the facts of the case and therefore was not libelous. The publisher, which is the defendant in the case, has a real prospect of showing that public statements issued on Harris' behalf were misleading, the judge wrote in his decision. Now, I'm also confused by all of that because it seems like the judge is speaking from both sides of his mouth. He's straddling the fence here. One, he said in the early stage of the case, he said there was libel. Now he's saying that Harry's team was misleading. Let me continue reading. I anticipate that at trial, the defendant may well submit that this was a masterclass in the art of spinning, Justin Matthew Nicol wrote. And the defendant argues it was successful in misleading and or confusing the public. Which one is it, Judge Nicklin? I don't know. First, you say it was libelous, that somebody reading it can misinterpret what it is saying, and now you're saying something completely different. You're saying, no, it was not misleading. I don't know. And so the hearing, if Harry wants to continue or pursue the case, the hearing for that will be on Tuesday the 12th, and the decision will be made if Harry wants to go to full trial with the case. We don't know what his decision going to be, but we shall see. It says here a hearing is scheduled for Tuesday to discuss the consequences of the ruling, which is whether or not Harry is going to pursue it or not. And if the judge is already saying that chances are the Daily Fail can win, now what is going to happen is Harry's going to have to pay for the Daily Fail's defense. So I don't know what decision is going to come out of that, but we shall see. Oh gosh, I don't know if Harry can win in the United Kingdom. It seems like they say something and then they switch up on you and then they give a different ruling. Okay, now let's just buffer this a little. I There was another case. I'll come back to it. The last one, the 3 days hearing recently for Harry's security over when he's in the United Kingdom. But I just wanted to touch up on, how the British press and the haters and the derangers can lie on, the Sussexes. So recently, Meghan and Harry were in Canada and they were at a hockey game. So, given that they were at a hockey game, there was a talk prior to Meghan meeting Harry where people were accusing Meghan of, being with a hockey player while she was married. And so once they were over there, the conversation started up again, or the rumors started up again about Megan, and the things that people were saying on the internet was absolutely nothing more than lies. And so what happened is that Megan and Rick Hoffman, her co-star from Suits, were in Canada, and Suits, as we know, was filmed in Canada. And they were at an event, I think it was a Soho House in Canada. And the hockey player, whose name is Michael Del Zotto, was a big fan of Suits, and he was friendly with Rick Hoffman. And apparently they were at an event. Megan was there. They took a picture. Megan posted the picture on her blog, The Tig, which is what she does anyways. She goes places and she takes pictures and she posts it on her blog. And all of a sudden, it snowballed into Megan having an affair with this hockey player. So this is what he had to say about, what happened. And basically, he was literally setting the record straight. Let's take a listen to him. So,
What's this Meghan Markle story I heard about?
Suits was one of my favorite shows. Lewis on the show, Rick Hoffman. He was a big Rangers fan. We kind of went out for a couple times. And through these times, Megan was around with them, co-stars on the show. And she was married at the time. We had a picture of us together where I think it was the three of us were out. I believe it was Soho House in Toronto. We had a drink before dinner. Fast forward, she's now engaged to the prince, and headlines are blowing up. Everyone's digging into her past dating history, who she knows. I started getting calls. We're friends. I was friends with her through Rick. The British press is getting access to my mom's cell phone asking, hey, did your son and Meghan Markle have relations? My mom's like what the fuck is going on? We're in Vancouver. We don't have a practice room. The odd time there's something going on at the arena, we would practice at UBC. I'm walking out. Sure enough, this guy sprints over at me in his accent. Did you have relations with Meghan Markle? I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? What this guy asked me? And sure enough, 4 cars in the background, and there's numerous cameras taking pictures and video of me. The paparazzi's back there asking, like, what the fuck is going on right now?
okay, so there you have it. Okay, all they're doing is making up stories and trying to dig up into Meghan's past and harassing people that Meghan, had some type of acquaintance with, and even going as far as finding this man's mother's, um, phone number to harass the poor woman. She knows nothing about anything, and then they're harassing her. So that goes to show that everything the British press reports on is nothing more than lies. One, two, you could just imagine the extent at which they go to get information. No wonder Harry brought that case against um, these newspapers because of all of the espionage work they've been doing on him. They did it, I have a feeling, to Meghan as well. Yeah, here's the proof. The proof is in the pudding. Okay, so that's just one of the stories I wanted to bring to you. Well, oh my goodness, my eyes is a little swollen. I was just eating something, touched my eye, and it just irritated my eyes. But anyways, one more story that I wanted to point out that occurred with Harry over the weekend was his trial with the UK government for to provide him with full security. Harry has said over and over that the security that he's receiving from the UK government is not adequate, and he is terrified for his family's life and his own safety, and that the security needs to, step up literally. And even the Queen, before she passed away, that was her utmost concern that Harry is provided security. And it was a 3-day trial. One day was public, and the two other days was private, as they're discussing security concerns. And you know, on the closing day, the closing statement that Harry's lawyer used was quite powerful. And I just want to read a little of it for you guys here. It says here, apparently, Harry feels like he was forced out of the United Kingdom along with his wife. So it says here, it was with great sadness to both of us that my wife and I felt forced to step back from this role and leave the country in 2020, he said. The UK is my home. The UK is central to the heritage of my children and a place I want them to feel at home as much as where they live at the moment in the United States. That cannot happen if there is no possibility to keep them safe when they are on UK soil. He continued to say, I can't put my wife in danger like that. And given my experiences in life, I'm reluctant to unnecessarily put myself in harm's way. So he's saying that, his children, should have an opportunity to know the United Kingdom, and and the only way they can, which is his home country, is that for them to have you know good security and not the haphazard security that they've been receiving from the UK government. They would like us to believe that Harry's getting, security, but certainly not the top-notch security that he used to get when he was part of the royal family. And a lot of people may say, "Well, Harry came to America. Harry's this, Harry's that, and he shouldn't get that security." But at the end of the day, Harry is, King Charles' son, and Harry was born a prince, and he didn't ask to come into this life. This life was thrust upon him. He was brought here by his, you know, not because he wanted to come. It's Diana and Charles. So Harry should be given the security that that is required to keep his family safe. It also went on to say, the article said, of course, it should go without saying that he wants to come back to see family and friends and to continue to support the charities that are so close to his heart. Um, that's what the lawyer said. So, most of all, this is and always be his home, the United Kingdom. Yeah, that's where he was born. And I know after a while, when you live somewhere, you have nostalgic feeling of where you're from. It's just something that naturally occurs in you, where you just feel pulled back to your roots. And anybody who tells me they don't feel that way, they're lying, you know. And yes, so that's what is going on. We will be hearing the um, verdict of this trial sometime in the future. And this all started when they made a decision behind Harry's back, and they did not inform him of who was going to be part of the decision making. And they ruled, against him. And Sir Edward Young, who was the Queen's secretary, who Harry had a contentious relationship with, was part of the Rafik community that made that decision to streamline Harry's security and give him that haphazard security that he's been experiencing when he occasionally goes to England, and that has to certainly stop. Certainly. He deserves better. He's done a lot for his country, and they already don't have a place to stay at when they go to the United Kingdom. The least that they could do is give them a place to stay. We also have, they keep saying things about Megan so much, but it's just amazing how Megan keeps winning. She just keeps winning and just loves her. Recently, the Daily Field had this most ridiculous article about Kate being America's favorite princess. It is so ridiculous. Everything that the Daily Field brings towards you is either an honest opinion or it is fabricated. Recently, they had some stupid survey where they crowned Kate being the most or best dressed celebrity overall. Or, even she beat out all these, high profile celebrities. It's just nothing more than made up and wishful thinking. That's what that is all about. So now they have her getting 44%, as you see here in this article, 40% of votes. She got 44% of all the votes, putting her on top as the people's princess. And she's the favorite princess in America. They're trying to diss Meghan, and they have Meghan here at getting 21% of the vote. That is so ridiculous. It doesn't even self make any sense. I didn't even know who Kate was until people just recently started talking about her, and notice how she pretty much came to that Christmas concert that she's had recently there. Um, pretty much dressed up like how Megan was dressed up in the Invictus Games right there. That's how she was recently. So it just says everything that we need to know about Kate, that she's a copycat and she doesn't have her own style. Here she is dressing like Megan and trying to be modern. Wow. Somebody started whispering in her ears because lately I've noticed that she's been having these power suits and pantsuits and what have you. She's dissed the old frocks that she used to wear. Somebody has been whispering in her ear. She's trying to compete with Megan, and we know it. That was one of the things certainly that Omid Scobie got correct. Yep. Look, they've been saying that Kate is the people's princess, but one of the biggest stars in the world, Taylor Swift, guess what she's wearing? One of Meghan's handbags. One of the Meghan's handbag that she wore in the United Kingdom. Taylor is, you know, dressing up with that same handbag. So Meghan does have good taste. She does have a lot of influence, although they would like us to believe that she's finished. Uh, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. That's what I say. Megan is gonna have the last word. Okay, that's all for now, guys. I hope you guys liked this format. Let me know what you think in the comment, and that's all for now. Don't forget to like the video on your way out. Thank you. It helps the channel.